Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to talk about some NASCAR. Yes, some NASCAR news. A lot of news to discuss over yesterday and today. I wanted to discuss. So let's get right into it. So let's go back to yesterday. I uploaded a wrestling news video, so if you haven't watched that, just go watch it. But
bath remodeling was revolutionized in this garage in 1980 when three brothers created the iconic bath.
So NASCAR's done a deal with the RTIC Outdoors to be its official cooler and drinkware of NASCAR. So they've done a deal with the RTIC Outdoors to be their official cooler, basically the drinkware of NASCAR. The most recent one, Bob can remember, was with Yeti, which expired a few years ago.
Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
So I mean that's cool. I mean that's cool. That company's done a wonderful job since Yeti was the only one in town. So excited to see some of the team specific stuff. So somebody asked about Chase Elliott's return. So Josh Berry is in the number 9 until Chase Elliott returns. He indicated on the telecast he was doing well. The original estimate was 6 weeks recovery time, and I haven't heard anything to believe that would be any longer. But which Chase Elliott makes his return is still to be determined. I mean, Martinsville would be the first race. It'll either be Martinsville or Talladega. But yeah, that's I guess a little update, I guess. But the main things I want to get into is the appeals board pretty much upholds the colleague penalty, except it reduces points from 100 to 75 points and reduction of 10 playoff points. So it's basically the penalty was upheld basically, except they only took away 25 points, 100 to 75. But this doesn't make any sense. I get it, the appeals board was different for this penalty appeal than the Hendrick one, but it just doesn't make sense. And it's just interesting. It's just a very bad and embarrassing look from NASCAR. Look, I'm a big Hendrick fan, obviously, but this is embarrassing and bad look for NASCAR. So the appeal panel needs to get some things looked at. Same penalty, 2 different organizations, but 2 different results. And I get it's 2 different penalties. This is true, but it's still not going to look. It's the same exact penalty. It just shows the inconsistency on the part of the panel. It might not be the inconsistency with the panel, but the quality of the defense, the effect of the lawyers of HMS might be better than colleague. But I don't know. But they were judged by 2 separate groups, but I agree. And colleague only had 1 confiscated, where Hendrick had all 8 confiscated. But this kind of reeks favoritism from the appeals panel. Or Hendrick maybe had the emails and texts that support the argument. According to Junior's podcast, he had felt Hendrick had enough to completely overturn the whole penalty. Apparently. But even as a Hendrick fan, this is some BS. They got the same penalty, but the same penalty for the exact same thing in different ways. Just the bias towards Hendrick is crazy. It's just bias between teams is obvious here. If there wasn't a Hendrick logo on the 31 car, if there was a Hendrick logo on the 31 car, they would have gotten all their points back. But this will go over smoothly with the NASCAR fans. It just doesn't sit right. It's just a typical small team gets screwed, and a big Hendrick fan, but it just doesn't sit right. Maybe they should just have the same appeals panel done this penalty where it would have been more consistent, because I guarantee you it would have been different. Just have the same appeals panel on the colleague appeal. I don't. However, it seems extremely unlikely if we get any clarification on this. But big money usually wins, and just make it make sense, NASCAR. Transparency would be nice in this situation. Um, yeah, so the appeals panel for an L2 penalty has the option of having no points penalty or a points penalty of 75 to 120 points. It can't make it 1 to 74 points. So, but how did Hendrick get theirs fully removed? I'm confused. Why was Hendrick able to be appealed to 0? I mean, the answer is in Bob's tweet here. So NASCAR either couldn't or didn't even try to present as strong of a case as they did versus Colleague. It's basically arbitration with NASCAR, and the team presenting then the appeals make their decisions basically. But just Hendrick favoritism, it's just a huge problem. The board isn't even consistent. Just what a joke. It's just a joke. So basically, to avoid any confusion here, if anybody's confused from what I'm reading, just avoid any confusion. Colleague lost their 10 playoff points as well. They don't get those. The only part of the penalty change was the reduction of the regular season points. So they only got 25 points back out of the 100, and they don't get the playoff points back. So I'm really hoping Colleague goes with the final appeal to get the same as HMS at the very least. That's really bad still. This is the worst week ever for NASCAR. And I'll get to another thing I wanted to talk about as well. Yeah, but this shit's 100% rigged. So the colleague panel was different than the Hendrick one. The colleague appeals panel was former TV executive Hunter Nickel, former driver Shauna Robinson, Magic Valley, Meridian, Idaho Speedway promoter Steve York. So, how are these people selected? Like, the inconsistency of this is ridiculous. It'd be nice for NASCAR to fully explain the difference with the infractions, but not a good look at all. Just inconsistencies with NASCAR. Like, how do they determine who's on this appeals panel? A random draw? It should be the same for everyone with appeals. Like, I don't see how somebody can get the exact same penalty yet. One team gets away clean, the other one doesn't. But what do TV execs have to do with NASCAR panel appeals? How do TV executives get on here? I could apply to get on the NASCAR appeal panel. Jesus Christ. But how they select these people? They have a couple of people who work in racing operations, I guess, who coordinate panels, and they have a group of it's here about 25 panels. They choose 3 and can depend on availability, knowledge, avoiding any conflicts of interest, technical expertise, whatever. But I just want to know why Hendrick off the hook for the same thing. We want answers. Maybe the case was stronger. It's just a lack of transparency by NASCAR. So that's even worse. So they picked 3 people last week that like Hendrick apparently is translation. They picked 3 people here who don't know shit. Jesus. So colleague can appeal to the final appeals officer, the Langley Speedway promoter Bill Mullis. So Chris Rice on NASCAR Race Hub, they said they're going to take their final case to the appeals officer of Langley Speedway. So, as they should. After their final appeal, if I were them, I would delete the documents they gave to the appeals panel out of spite. Because they should get all their points back and the 10 playoff point reduction down to 0. As they should. Hopefully they win that. But they're going to take their case to the Files Appeal Officer, they likely will. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that. The Bristol Dirt Weekend this week, Friday on FS1, we're going to get to that quickly. The truck practice at 5:35, cut practice at 6:35, truck practice at 8:02, and 8:32 we'll have cut practice. So, Friday will be all practice at 4:30 p.m. on FS2. on Saturday, 15 lap heats. 6 p.m. on FS2, 15 lap heats. The truck race at 8 p.m. on FS1. And then Sunday, we'll have the 7 p.m. the Fox Cup race. But unfortunately, Friday 85% chance of rain, Saturday 50% chance of rain, Sunday 15% chance of rain. So if Saturday's a wash, will they have to move the heat races to Sunday? That's a little bit of a question mark I have here. And Friday, I don't even know if they'll get Friday in. 85% chance of raining with the dirt. It's a bit of a question mark. Um, the purses for this weekend, the payouts, Cup $7,808,640,000, and truck only $738,461. That's $700K distributed across 30-something teams. Yeah, got a 7.1 million difference that needs to change. The truck owners need to get more money. So NASCAR had a regularly scheduled meeting yesterday with team owners, and the entirety of the teams boycotted the meeting. So as is well known, the teams are demanding a better financial model and do not feel NASCAR is negotiating in good faith. So there's frustrated team owners in the boycott meeting per sources. So it is with Jenna Fry's understanding that the ownership group wants Jim France and Lisa France Kennedy at the negotiating table. That seems like a reasonable demand. I mean, I can't say I blame them. I mean, that's a reasonable demand to want Jim France and Lisa France Kennedy at the negotiating table in this. Normally, I don't like this sort of thing, but I'm with the teams. Let's give them a fair deal instead of consistently cutting. Sure, I'm for teams saving money, but the weekends just feel kind of empty with their current format. If you have advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene, but that's just frightening. It's just frightening. So the teams did boycott team owners. Cancel meeting scheduled today. The meeting wasn't necessarily to discuss the revenue disturbed model, but typically it is about the initiatives in the sport. Boycott was a message about needing to make progress on revenue distribution talks. So basically, it's like a broken business model right now. They're at a significant impasse over charter. So it's basically they're boycotting over the charter system. In summary, they're basically boycotting over the charters. I just don't think we should have a charter system at all. They should just abolish the charters. I mean, it's just stupid at this point. Dean Thompson is cleared to race after his weekend crash at Texas. So good news, Dean Thompson's able to compete at Bristol Dirt. So it's good news after scary crash. So Denny Hamlin, the appeals board upholds the penalties to Denny Hamlin. I mean, I guess it's predictable that the penalty's gonna be upheld. I mean, he admitted to wrecking someone, putting someone on the wall intentionally affecting the outcome of the race. So if Denny didn't admit that, he wouldn't even had this penalty to begin with. He admitted to intentionally trying to wreck someone, whether or not you think it was justified. There's one precedent NASCAR has adhered to strictly. So his 25-point penalty, $50,000 fine stands. So as expected, I mean, it should have been. I mean, he didn't deserve to be overturned. So, so the KBM affiliate trucks of one Sanchez Purdy, number 51 Purdy and Sanchez have got 10 points for engine oil reservoir tank violations. So, whew. So they might appeal that. We'll see. Hendrick Motorsports got penalties. Byron and Bowman 60 points, 5-point playoff point, $75K fine, and 2-race suspension to the interim crew chiefs to be effective next week. Reviewing the penalties issued today by NASCAR will determine next steps following Sunday's race. So they docked the 40 and 28 team 60 points for their interim crew chiefs because their cars were taken to R&D after Richmond had a greenhouse violation basically. So add playoff points to this penalty for Bowman and Byron. 60 regular season points, 5 playoff points basically is the penalty. So it's basically like a wiper motor. So it's basically like a windshield wiper. It wasn't the wiper. It's like a modification of the greenhouse that didn't make specifications. So Hendrick appealed a penalty. Now they get another penalty. So yeah, but just an eventful week in NASCAR. But yeah. That's all the news I have to talk about. So, until next time, Peace.